Hello everyone. Today we are going to read about reforms movement and their leaders. So, first is Rajaram Mohan Roy from 1772 to 1833. He often called the father of Indian Renaissance and marker of modern India. He was a gifted linguist as he knows dozen of languages. Set Atma Sabha in 1814, founded Brahmo Sabha in 1828, which renamed later as Brahmo Samaj. Brahmo Samaj committed to the worship and adoration of eternal, unsearchable, immutable being who is the author and preserver of the universe. He believed in modern scientific approach and principle of human dignity and social equality. Features of Brahmo Samaj. First is it denounced polythesis and idol worship. It discarded faith in divine avatars, polythesis, idol worship, and discarded faith in divine avatars. Then it took no definite stand on doctrine of karma and transmigration of soul, and left it to the individual Brahmos to believe either way. Next is it criticized caste system. Then Raja Ram Mohan Roy efforts at social reform. He started anti-sati struggle in 1818 and his efforts rewarded by government regulation in 1829, which declared practice of sati as a crime. Then he attacked polygamy. He fought for and demanded right of inheritance and property for women. Rajaram Mohan Roy supported David Harris in founding Hindu College in 1817. He established Vedanta College in 1825. He was also a political activist as he demanded abolition of taxes, decrease of export duties, abolition of East India Company trading rights, and judicial equality. Rajaram Mohan Roy was an internationalist with a vision beyond his times. He stood for cooperation of throughout thought and activity and brotherhood among nations. His understanding of universal character of the principles of liberty, equality, and justice indicated that he well understood the significance of modern age. Then next is Devendranath Tagore. He was father of Rabindranath Tagore and a product of best in traditional Indian learning and Western thought. He gave a new life to a Brahmo Samaj. He joined Samaj in 1842. Earlier, Tagore headed a Tatva Bondhini Sabha founded in 1839. He was devoted to a systematic study of India's past with a rational outlook and to propagation of Ram Mohan Roy's ideas. Next is Kesab Chandra Sen. He was made Acharya by Debendranath Tagore after he joined the Samaj in 1858. Kesab was instrumental in popularizing the movement and branches of the Samaj outside Bengal. He was against caste system and even open support to intercaste marriage. Acharya Kesab Chandra Sen dismissed from the office of Acharya in 1865. Kesab and his follower formed Brahmo Samaj of India in 1866, while Debendranath Tagore Samaj came to be known as Adi Brahmo Samaj. In 1700 Kesav's inexplicable act of getting his 13-year-old daughter married to minor Maharaja of Kuch Behar with all orthodox Hindu rituals caused another split in Kesav's Brahmo Samaj of India. It came to be known as Sadharan Brahmo Samaj, started by Ananda Mohan Bose, Sebi Chandra Deb, and Umesh Chandra Datta. Now, the significance of Brahmo Samaj. This Samaj attacked many dogmas and superstitions, condemned sati, worked for abolition of Buddha system, discouraged child marriage, then polygamy, crushed and attacked caste system. Next is Prarthana Samaj, formed by Atmaram Pandurang in 1867 with the help of Kesab Chandra Sen. Precursor of this Prarthana Samaj is Paramahansa Sabha, which was a secret society to spread liberal ideas and encourage breakdown of caste and communal barriers. Social reform, very attached with Bhakti cult of Maharashtra. Mahadev Govind Ranade joined Prarthana Samaj in 1870. There are 4 points social agenda also. First is disapproval of caste system, then women's education, then widow remarriage, raising age of a marriage for both boys and girls. The radical intellectual trend among youth in Bengal, which came to be known as Young Bengal Movement. A young Anglo-Indian, Henry Vivian Derozio, from 1869 to 39, he was a teacher at Hindu College from 1826 to 1831. He removed in 1831 due to his radicalism. He inspired his pupils to think freely and rationally, question all authority, love, liberty, equality, and freedom, supported women, right and education. Failure of this movement due to prevailing social condition, no support from any other social group, lack of real zeal, link with masses, and vocation character. But Surendranath Banerjee called Derozio that the pioneers of modern civilization of Bengal. Next reformer, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. He was principal of Sanskrit College in 1850, secretary of Betune School established in 1849. He was blend of Indian and Western thoughts, high moral values, deep humanistic and generous to poor, opened Sanskrit College to non-Brahmins. New methodology to teach Sanskrit, legalization of widow remarriage, crusader against child marriage and polygamy. Then Bal Shastri Jambekar. He was called father of Marathi journalism. He founded Bombay Native General Library and started Native Improvement Society. He was first professor of Hindu at Elphinstone College, director of Colaba Observatory, and his newspaper Darpan in 1832. This Darpan is used to awaken the people to awareness of social reformers such as widow remarriage. And next, he started Digdarshan in 1840. Darpan and first is Darpan in 1832 and second one is Digdarshan in 1840. Next is Paramhamsa Mandali, founded in Maharashtra in 1849 by Dadoba Padurang and Mahanji Durgaram. Primarily they are interested in breaking caste rules. Their ideology linked to Manav Dharma Sabha, They believed real religion based on love and moral conduct. This Mandali is began as a secret society. Next is Jyotirao Phule and Savitribai Phule. Jyotirao Phule, 1827 to 1890, born in Satara, Maharashtra, belonged to Mali community. He founded Sat- Satya Sodhak Samaj in 1873. The main aim of this movement were the social service and spread of education among women and lower caste people. Jo Phule aimed at complete abolition of caste system and socio-economic inequalities. Then he propagated what came to be known as Satya Sodhak marriage, simple and inexpensive. Then he called he given a cat title of Mahatma in 1888 by another social reformer, Vittal Rao Krishnaji Wandekar. Savitribai Phule, born in 1831 at Naigaon and died in 1897. She founded, she started Mahila Seva Mandal to create awareness for women's right. She and her husband established two educational trusts, namely the Native Female School Pune and Society for Promoting the Education of Mahars. With her husband, she set up home called Bal Hatya Pratibandhak Griha in 1863. She wrote poetry and two of her collection are Kavya Phule and Bhavna Kashi Subodh Ratnakar. Jyoti Rao Phule wrote Sarvajanik Satyadharana and Gulab Giri. These two became inspiration for common masses. In August 2014, the name of University of Pune was changed to Savitri Bai Phule University in honor of Savitri Bai Phule. Next is Gopal Baba Valankar, also known as Gopal Krishna. He founded Anarya Dosh Parihar Mandali, Society for Removal of Evils among the Non-Aryans. He has been called first intellectual rebel from the Dalit community. In 1888, Valankar began publishing the monthly journal Vital Vidhan Vashak. He also wrote Hindu Dharma Darpan in 1884. He contributed to Marathi journals such as Sudharak and Deen Bandhu to arouse awareness and inspire depressed classes. Then next is Kisan Fagunji Bansod. He established He established Chokhamela Girls' School at Nagpur. He wanted the Dalit boys and girls to be educated. He, he was one of the secretaries of All India Depressed Classes Conference in 1920. Next is Vitthal Ramji Sindhe. He established Depressed Classes Mission in Bombay in 1905. He also established Night School for Children of Untouchables in Pune in 1905. He was, he was author of Bhartiya Ashprusaitecha Prashna. Next is Gopal Hari Deshmukh. He was a social reformer and a nationalist from Maharashtra. He was judge under British Raj. He wrote weekly Prabhakar, Hitechu, Gyan Prakash, Indu Prakash, and Lokhati Wadi. Next is Gopal Ganesh Agarkar. He was an educationist and social reformer from Maharashtra. He was co-founder of School, New English School, Deccan Education Society, and Ferguson College. And he was principal of Ferguson College. He was also the first editor of Kesari, the journal started by Lokmanya Tilak. Later, he started his own periodical Sudharak. He was first editor of Kesari and इनका own periodical, that is Sudharak. Then Gopal Krishna Gokhale. He founded Servants of Indian Society in 1905 with the help of M.G. Ranade. In 1911, Hitawada began to be published. Then, after the death of Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Srinivas Sastri took over as a president. 1911 में Hitawada. Then, follower of Gokhale, Narayan Malhar Joshi. He founded Social Service League in Bombay with an aim to secure for masses better and responsible condition of life and work. Then he also founded All India Trade Union Congress in 1920. Narayan Malhar Joshi, he was follower of Gokhale. Then after him, Ramakrishna movement and Swami Vivekanand. So the Ramakrishna movement, two objective of Ramakrishna movement. First is bring into existence a band of monks dedicated to a life of renunciation and practical spirituality, from among whom teachers and workers would be sent out to spread universal message of Vedanta as illustrated in life of Ramakrishna. Second is conjunction with lay disciples to carry on preaching philanthropic and charitable works, looking upon all men, women, and children, irrespective of any caste, creed, or color, or veritable manifestation of divine. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he himself led the foundation of Ramakrishna Mutt. He was married to Sara Damani Mukherjee, called Sarda Devi. Ramakrishna Mutt to fulfill the first objective. Headquarter of Ramakrishna Mutt is at Belur, near Calcutta. Hansa sought salvation through traditional ways, renunciation, meditation, and bhakti. He recognized that fundamental oneness of all religion and emphasized that Krishna, Hari, Ram, and Allah are different names of the same God, that there are many ways to God and salvation, as many faiths, so many paths. He used to say, service of man is the service of God. Narendranath Dutt, who later came to be known as Swami Vivekananda. He emerged as a preacher of Neo-Hinduism. He subscribed to Vedanta. His mission was to bridge the gulf between Paramatma, service, and Vyavara, that is behavior, and between spirituality and a day-to-day life. He believed in fundamental oneness of God. At the Parliament of Religions held at Chicago in 1893, the keynote of his opening address was the need for a healthy balance between spiritualism and materialism. He founded Ramakrishna Mission in 1897. Ramakrishna Mission for Humanitarian Relief and Social Work. Vivekananda advocated the doctrine of service, the service of all beings. Service of Jiva is the worship of Shiva. Life itself is religion, and by service, the divine exists within man. Next is Dayanand Saraswati and Arya Samaj. Dayanand Saraswati founded Arya Samaj movement, which was result of a reaction to a Western influences. Arya Samaj unit formally set by him at Bombay in 1875, but later headquarter of the Samaj was established at Lahore. Dayanand's views were published in his famous work Satya Prakas, the true exposition. Dayanand's slogan of Back to the Vedas was call for revival of Vedic learning and Vedic purity of religion and not revival of Vedic times. Dayanand's Dayananda launched a frontal attack on the Hindu orthodoxy, caste rigidities, untouchability, idolatry, polytheism, and belief in magic, charms, and animal sacrifice. Then 10 guiding principles of the Arya Samaj are: God is the primary source of all true knowledge. Second, God as all truth, all knowledge, almighty, immortal, creator of universe, is alone worthy of worship. Third is Vedas are book of true knowledge. Next, Arya should always be ready to accept truth and abandon wrong or untruth. Next is Dharma, that is, due consideration of right and wrong should be guiding principle of all action. Well, Dharma is guiding principle of all the actions. Next is the principal aim of Samaj to promote world's well-being in material, spiritual, and social sense. Everybody should be treated with love and justice. Then ignorance is to be dispelled and knowledge increased. Next is one's own progress should depend on uplift of all others. Then last one, social well-being of mankind is to be placed above all individual well-beings. After the death of Dayanand in 1883, the work of the Samaj was carried on by the illustrious members. Dayanand, Dayanand Anglo-Vedic College was established in 1886 at Lahore. But the difference in opinion between two groups in the Samaj arose over a curriculum of the DAV college, one group known as College Party or Cultural Party, and other one is Mahatma. College Party leaders were Lala Hansraj, Lala Chand, Lala Lal Chand, and Lala Lajpat Rai. And the other was Mahatma Party led by the Guru Datta Vidyarthi and Lala Munsi Ram, who came to be known as Swami Shraddhanand. SS, Swami Shraddhanand. College Party favored the government curriculum and English education to meet economic and professional needs, while the Mahatma Party was interested in introducing study of Sanskrit and Vedic philosophy. Then College Party had nothing against non-vegetarian and Mahatma Party was in favor of all the Aryas being strict vegetarian. In the end, Arya Samaj split in 1893. College Party retained control over DAV School and College, while Arya Pratinidhi Sabha, Punjab, and a majority of local Arya Samaj branches were taken by the Mahatma Party. Swami Shraddhanand opened Gurukul in 1900 at Gujranwala. Then, in 1902, Gurukul was moved to Kangri near Haridwar, hence the name Gurukul Kangri. So, the Arya Samaj was able to give self respect and self confidence to Hindus, which helped to undermine the myth of superiority of whites and Western culture. Seva Sadan was founded by Parsi social reformer Behramji M. Malabari with her friend Diwan Dayaram Giddumal. Mahalbari spoke against child marriage for widow remarriage and age consent act. Seva Sadan specialized in taking care of those women who were exploited and then discarded by the society. Mahalbari acquired and edited Indian Spectator. Dev Samaj was founded by Shiv Narayan Agnihotri in 1887 at Lahore. It called for an ideal social behavior such as not accepting bribes, avoiding intoxicants, non-vegetarian foods. Okay, and its teachings were compiled in a book, Dev Shastra. Agnihotri also speak against child marriage. Then Dharma Sabha. Dharma Sabha founded by Radhakant Deb in 1830. It is an orthodox society. Next is a organization created to defend orthodox Hinduism where Sanatana Dharma Sabha in 1895, then Dharma Mahaparishad in South India, then Dharma Mahamandali in Bengal. These organizations combined in 1902 to form a single organization of Bharat Dharma Mahamandala to proper management of Hindu religious institution. Headquarter is at Varanasi. Next is Radha Swami movement, founded by Tulsi Ram, also known as Shiv Dayal Sahib in 1861. Radha Swami believed in one supreme being, supremacy of Guru, a company of pious people, and simple social life. Then, next is Sri Narayan Guru Dharma Paripalana movement. It is a regional movement born out of conflict between depressed classes and upper castes. It was started by Sri Narayan Guru Swami. He belonged to a caste which considered to be untouchables and were denied to education and entry into temples. Narayan Guru himself took a stone from Nayar river and installed a Shivlinga at Aruvapuram in 1888. In 1889, Aruvapuram Kshetra Yogam was formed. In 1903, registered Sri Narayan Guru Dharma Paripalana Yogam was registered in 1903 under Indian Companies Act. Narayan Guru is a permanent chairman and Kumaran Asan General Secretary. Sri Narayan Guru held all religions to be same. Next, Vokalinga Sangha in Mysore launched anti-Brahmin movement in 1905. Then Justice movement in Madras presidency was started by C.N. Madaliar and T.M. Nair and P. Tyagaraja to secure jobs and representation of the non-Brahmins in legislature. Next is self-respect movement was started by E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar. This movement aimed at nothing sort of Brahminical religion and culture, which Naikar felt was a prime instrument of exploitation of the lower castes. Then temple entry movement. T.K. Madhavan, a prominent social reformer and editor of Deshabhimani, took a issue of temple entry with a Travancore administration. Then, in 1924, Vaikum Satyagraha, led by K.P. Keshwa, was launched in Kerala. Then, in November 12, 1936, the Maharaja of Travancore issued a proclamation throwing open all government-controlled temples to all Hindus. Next is Indian Social Conference. This founded by M.G. Ranade and Raghunath Rao. It called a social reform cell of Indian National Congress. Next is Wahhabi movement. The teachings of Abdul Wahhab of Arabia and preachings of Shah Waliullah inspired in response of a Western influence. Twofold twofold ideals of this movement. First is desirability of harmony among the four school of jurisprudence which had divided the Indian Muslims. And second is recognition of the role of individual conscience in religion where conflicting interpretation were derived from Quran and Hadith. Wahhabi movement plays important role in spreading anti-British feelings during 1857 revolt. Then Titu Mir's movement. Sayyid Mir Nisar Ali, he popularly known as Titu Mir. He organized Muslim peasants of Bengal against the landlords who were mostly Hindus and British indigo planters. He was killed in 1831. Next is Ferazi's movement. Founded by Hazi Zaryatullah, this movement called Ferazdi movement because of its emphasis on Islamic pillars of the faith. Under the leadership of Hazi's son Didu Mian, this movement became revolutionary in 1840 onwards. He arrested many a times, and his arrest in 1847 finally weakened this movement. He died in 1862. Next is Ahmadiyya movement, founded in 1889 by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. This movement is based on liberal principles. The next is Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and the Aligarh movement. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was a loyalist member of judicial service. After his retirement, he became a member of Imperial Legislative Council in 1878. His loyalty earned him a knighthood in 1888. He started Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College at Aligarh in 1875. Aligarh movement emerged as liberal modern trend among the Muslim intelligentsia. This aimed at spreading modern education among Indian Muslims and social reforms among Muslims relating to Purdah system, polygamy, widow remarriage, and women's education. The ideology of the followers of the movement was based on liberal interpretation of Quran. Next is Deoband School. This movement organized by Orthodox section among the Muslim. This founded by Muhammad Qasim in 1866 aimed propagating pure teachings of Quran Hadith among the Muslims and keeping alive the spirit of jihad against the foreign rules. Then Mahmud al Hassan, the new Deoband leader, gave a political and intellectual content to the religious idea of the school. Shibli Numani, a supporter of a Deoband school, favored inclusion of English language and European sciences in the system of education. He founded Nadwatan Ulama and Darul Ulum in Lucknow in 1894 to 96. Next is Parsis Reform Movement, founded by Rahnumai Mazdayan Syam Sabha in 1851 for regeneration of social conditions of the Parsis and restoration of the Zoroastrian religion to its pristine purity. Next is Sikh reform movements. So the Sikh Sabha movement was founded at Amritsar in 1873 with the objective to make available modern Western education to Sikhs to counter the proselyting activities of Christian missionaries, Muslim Maulvis, and Brahmo Samajist and Arya Samajist. Next is Akali movement, also known as Gurudwara Reform Movement, aimed at liberating the Sikh Gurudwaras from the control of corrupt Udasi Mahants. And as a result, Sikh Gurudwaras Act passed in 1922, which gave control of Gurudwaras to Sikh masses through Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee as a apex body. Next is Theosophical Movement. The group of Westerns led by Madame H.P. Balwasti and M.S. Olcott, who were inspired by Indian thoughts and the culture, founded Theosophical Society in New York City, US in 1875. In 1882, they shifted their headquarters to Adyar. This aimed to work for universal brotherhood of humanity without distinction of race, creed, sex, caste, or color. This movement, popular in India with the election of Annie Besant as a president in 1907. She founded Central Hindu College in Benares in 1898. So here our topic ends. Thank you.